11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. What a fight! I think Guerrero won it.
Juan, the Hispanic causing panic, Lascano.
And thanks to those joining me live and those that be joining me on the archive, D-Style here. Hope everybody is having a great, Wednesday. This is the 1st of December. We are officially the last month of the year. Can you believe that? I mean, one more month. And 2025 is a wrap, and we'll begin 2026. How fast, at least for me, did this year go, right? Like, this went by quick. So much to talk about, so much to take, but we're going to focus this video on the WBC stripping Terrence Crawford. And as I start this video, if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the bell. That way you're notified every time D-Style Boxing comes on live. Hit the all, that way you get all notifications. Shout out to Jesus Sam in the chat. Leave a comment if you're watching on the archive. Tell me what you think. A lot of feedback on the last video, the Chayo Pataya video. I appreciate everyone who gave their thoughts, and that's always appreciated. Shout out to those watching on X. If you're watching X, you come to the YouTube channel and listen here on YouTube as well, and join the chat and all that good stuff. All right. I am live on both vertical and regular standard, by the way. I'm just giving it a shot to see how that goes, and it is what it is. But whichever one you guys prefer, get your pick. But yes, I'm live on both of those versions or whatever. All right. WBC, the debt collector of boxing, says this was him. It sounds like it, right? Man, let me just say this. So much to touch on. So much else I'm going to touch on, but we're going to start off with Terrence Crawford. I got this information, so we're going to go over it right now and see. Let's talk about it. I'm going to have to do it through this thing here, so it is what it is.
Who the fuck you think I am? Well, you better slap your fucking self and pay your ass shit. Fuck you talking about paying you $300,000. What makes you so motherfucking better than any of the other sanction bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was given. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the fucking green belt, which don't mean fucking shit. Fucking real belt is the green belt, which is free, motherfucker. What are you talking about? You want me to pay you more than other sanction bodies because you feel like you better than them. How in the world all the sanction bodies agreed to the same amount, but you sit your motherfucking ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you? The fuck? You can take the fucking belt. It's a trophy anyway. The fuck am I paying you every time I step foot in the fucking ring? Or done. It's done on our dime. Do that sound right to you? It's crazy, ain't it? We the one out there getting battered, knocked upside our head, And every time we step foot in the ring, we gotta pay them a sanction fee. Like they the government. We getting taxed. It's crazy. Then he said allegedly I made X amount of money. You don't know how much I made. You don't know how much I made. Once again, you speculate. You speculate. So listen, Mauricio, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Because everybody in the world know you was going for Canelo. You was mad that I beat Canelo. It's okay. It happens, you know? But if you a real fan of the sport, you'd have, you know, said congratulations instead of having that little smirk on your face, all mad and pouting. But listen though, you should have took the money, and you should have been thankful and grateful that I was rocking your belt around as your champion. As your champion, the WBC champion, the undisputed champion at that. But you want to make it about you. You want to say, oh, well, you stripped me. Like, I've been stripped before. The IBF just stripped me when I was at 147. Doesn't matter. I'm still considered the undisputed champion. I'm still the champion in the division. Because you know why? The only belt that's recognizable as the champion is the ring belt, baby. That's the number one belt in the division. That trumps all belts. And guess what? It's free. It's free. I love that. $180,000 free. How much your belt cost? I wonder how much your belt cost. Huh? I don't see no receipts on your belt. It's crazy. Y'all be having so much taxes on these belts. You got some nerves. It's crazy that you can sit up there and have all these belts. You know, you got the WBC silver, the WBA intern, the whatever belt y'all got, and you taxing these fighters every time they fight, and you claim that you for these fighters. You're not for these fighters. You probably worse than the promoters. But hey, I wish you the best, you know? I wish you the best. You and your company, you know, Turkey. I hope y'all get that done, man. I hope y'all get that done so we can all see, you know, people face like this guy, you know, go away from boxing because they ruin the sport with all these antics that they do. You know, they got they ranking systems when people be mandatories for years, like Benavidez. Yeah. You know, they don't strip these fighters, but I give credit to the IBF. They stripped me. They didn't even give me time. They stripped me. Pop me. Even though I wasn't, you know.
Hey, all right. That was kind of a long video. I was hoping it was like 3 minutes, but you guys get the gist. That's pretty much the whole thing. So shout out to Carlos for sending me that. Chicano Prophet. You know what I mean? It's Chicano Prophet, everybody. All right. He's the prophet again. But let's just be honest here. Like no lies were detected in the video. None. I didn't detect a lie. Did you? I didn't. Like you may not agree with what he's saying all you want, but no lies were detected. These sanctioning bodies are full of shit, bro. fuck these sanctioning bodies. They're not even playing the role that they're supposed to be playing. All right? They're not even doing that. They're not even doing that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the last few, since last night. Shout out to Ernesto Amador from No Puedes Jugar Boxeo, the first person I saw break the story on Instagram. And everybody followed suit. Shout out to him. And we're going to go over why Mauricio Suleiman in particular is so full of shit. And what I want you to do is tell me where you detect. As soon as I say a lie, they tell me, I detected a lie, Sir D-Style. D-Style, that was a lie. And tell me why it was a lie. That's what I want, right? I don't want deflection. I don't want to know. You're going to tell me when I lie. Otherwise, just listen to the fax machine go, right? Otherwise, just shut up and listen to the fax machine go. But don't actually shut up. Leave some comments and engage. All right. Don't take me literally all the time. Adam Keller, how's it going, brother? Hope everything is well. Shout out to all Australian support out there. You guys are great. All right. Let's go to my Twitter page. You guys could follow me on Twitter, by the way. At D-Style Boxing, same thing. Follow me there. If you're there, by the way, share the content, retweet, like all that good stuff. If you tag me, I'll retweet it back, the whole nine. You know what I mean? It's free to do it. Last I checked, it doesn't cost a dime to share. All right? What did you guys taught when you were kids? Like sharing is caring? What you guys taught this stuff? Like share the content. Right? So, Mr. T in the building, how's it going, brother? Look, we're going to go over that. We're about to shred. If you hate the WBC, you're going to love this video. Now, if you are a mark for the WBC, if you're a fan of the WBC, if you're one of those people that buy WBC merchandise and you wear it on your lives or whatever, like or you walk around at the mall or you walk around at Walmart, especially with WBC merchandise, you're going to hate this video, right? You're going to absolutely despise. But all Suleiman does is bitch, cry, and complain, bro. That's all he does. For what? Just for being a tax collector. That's all he is. So it's time to get him tarred and feathered, bro. Like that's all he is. All he is a fucking collector. That's all he is. A position he inherited from his papa. Toma, mijo. You're now the president of WBC because you came from my nutsacks. That's it. He just inherited the spot. Oh, no. He was voted by the Board of Governors. What's this Board of Governors? How does someone become a member of the Board of Governors? How can we dispute who the member of the Board of Governors is? Like, well, why do they always agree with Mauricio Suleiman? Why is there never a case where the Board of Governors override what Mauricio Suleiman wants to do? Why is there never anything like that? Like in any type of board or any type of government setting type or whatever. Like what's going on here? Yeah, they have a Board of Governors. Give me a fucking break. You're a fucking sanctioning body, right? You're not the IOC, bro. All right? Like, calm the fuck down. You're not FIFA, right? Like, shut the fuck up, Board of Governors. Like, I'm tired of this fake-ass Board of Governor bullshit. I'm tired of the people that play along with it, right? Like, it's all a charade. It's all window dressing. Okay, these conventions, which is paid by the dime, by the blood, sweat, and tears of these fighters. They do these extravagant conventions, right? And yeah, they'll invite a couple of fighters in need. Okay, well, they just use them as fucking props, right? That's all they're doing. They'll pay for the jet of Mike Tyson to show up, right? So they could just use his name at the WBC convention. That's all it is, right? They line up these legends. They put the WBC strap on them as if the WBC is all that matters in all of boxing, right? So yes, they pay their flights and they give them, which is cool and all, but at the end of the day, they just call it for what it is, and then they sit there, right? They sit there with their fake ass fucking bullshit, bro. Like they said, like Mauricio's right there. He's like, "How may I help you, sir?" Right? And then the dude shows up. Right? He's like, "I am with the fighter who's ranked number 11, and we would like to be in the top 10. We believe that we have earned it. All right, good sir. We will definitely grant the request." And then they put on number 8, right? They put on this show, but what you don't know is that dude, that manager or that matchmaker, whoever it is, they already paid. All right, Mauricio Suleiman, the WBC behind the scenes, and they just did the charade so they could do the movement. All right? That's all it is. That's all it is. Oh, and we're going to go and put this, like this virtual signaling nonsense. Like, oh, we're going to put it in the Jose Suleiman Fighters Fund that helps, fighters in need. Yet everywhere I look, there's fighters in need, right? Every city has that boxer, roaming around the gym, stuttering and shorting his words, and nobody's helping them, right? We hear these stories of the legends that pass away, and Floyd Mayweather had to pay the freaking funeral bill. What is the WBC doing exactly? Like what? Like, oh yeah, no. You all you do is invite these legends to these, like, to your conventions, or you give money to Roberto Duran because it's a name and it helps your brand or whatever. But what are you really doing? Like what are you doing? Like, what's the Jose Suleiman? Like, who audits this thing? Who audits it? Like what? How do we know it's really all being used for that? And why does it need to come from the sanctioning body, from the sanctioning fees of these fighters? And why does it have to be so much? Why does it have to be like this? Oh, no, we're going to do good above the... I saw some bullshit. I think it was the WBO. Like, we're going to use the sanctioning fees to... We're going to use it to do seminars to educate fighters on how to properly manage their money. Like, what are you doing? What the fuck does that have to do with you? Your purpose, so your only purpose as a really your only purpose and only reason of existence, right, is to have a proper ranking system, which you fail at. You're not even good at that. You have one job, and to enforce the mandatories, to enforce whoever is the number one guy has earned this shot, wanted to enforce the fights. That is your job. You got 2 jobs. Have a proper ranking system and enforce the fights when and if the champion is not making things easy for that fighter, right? The promoter doesn't want to do the fight for whatever reason. It's your job to step in and say, no, you're going to fight him or we're going to strip you. Right? That is your job. That's literally the only job of the sanctioning bodies. It's not your job, okay, to be the, Medicare for all of retired fighters. That's not your job. It's not your job to be the Social Security office of retired fighters and fighters in need. It's not your job, honestly, it's not your job to promote. And we're going to get to all that. That's not your job. That's literally not your... Like, we have promoters in boxing. Let the promoters do... They're not even doing their job, but now you want to be a promoter, right? Like, you're not a promoter. You're supposed to be non-profit. How the fuck is a non-profit organization complaining that they didn't get $300,000, bro? Think about it. Like just stop and think of it. They've been robbing these fighters for years, dude. For years they've been doing it. For years. This motherfucker said that when they voted to make Canelo Alvarez a franchise champion, that they had this vote with the Board of Governors in Hawaii. Why the fuck do you got to go to Hawaii, right? Hold on, I got a detection. We'll get to it in a moment. But why do you need to go to Hawaii to do a vote on something you could do on a Zoom call, bro? Forget whether you agree that Canelo should have been franchise champion or not. Why did all the board of governors need to go to Hawaii to do this vote? It sounds to me it was a bullshit reason to give yourselves a nice vacation in Hawaii. Hawaii's kind of expensive. How many board of members is this? How many board of governors are we talking about? They didn't include their family members. They included Suleiman as well, right? They didn't include dinner. How many days was it? How many hotel rooms was this? Did you really need to do that to have a vote on making somebody a bullshit franchise champion? And people are just going to sit back and you could have done that on a fucking Zoom call. They could do all these things on a Zoom call. With today's technology, you don't need to go to Bangkok or go to Beijing and go to all these spots and rent out a big hall and do this big extravagant dinner and pay for people's flights. And you don't need to do all that. Like, well, what are you doing all that for? And if you're gonna do it, at least don't bullshit me. Tell me you're a non-profit organization. Like, just cut the shit. If you're a business, you're a business. Remember when Mauricio Suleiman was over here lecturing and being like, the ring only cares about money. They're a business. They only care about money. They don't have integrity. Like fuck you. You're a business. That's what you are. I would have more respect for you if you said, no, you guys got to pay because we're a business. We have a business to run, but that's not what you do. You act like the fighters are your charity case, and the arrogance you have to act like without you, they wouldn't be big. They wouldn't be stars. You're the reason these events are big, and you had a big hand in making these big events and making these fighters the names that they are. I'm not saying the sanctioning bodies don't play some role in being champions, they play some role in sport. But Jesus Christ, bro, this guy literally believes he's the WBC is the Moses of boxing. Like, they literally believe they're letting their people go. Like, they literally believe they're part of the Red Sea. They literally believe they're doing all these miracles. In the words of Tupac, they think that their belt is turning just everything into money and just making all these guys, and all we're doing is asking for you to donate to our fund that is totally not audited. Right? That's just a cold hard truth. Let's see what I'm not right about. That's not right. These now the purpose of WBC is to turn a profit. Oh well, at least you're telling the truth. I'm telling you right now, these motherfuckers are corrupt, bro. Look, and I don't know why I brought this up yet because I haven't even let's go over it a little bit. Let's go over some of this stuff. All right, let's go over some of it. All right. So, as you guys know, it was a slap in the face to the WBC. Fuck you. All right, I'm done with this dude, bro. How does someone get challenged for the position of the WBC? You're not a real president unless your position can be challenged, right? And how are these board of governor positions challenged? Do they get challenged at all? Like, how did this dude just inherit the spot? I think we need a new president. That's what I think. I think it's kind of, by God, the board of governors never vote. Like, they're not going to step in and be like, no, we don't agree with this. Let's have a vote on this. And we're going to vote to not strip Crawford. We're okay with paying the sanctioning fee that the other sanctioning bodies paid. Why does it not ever happen? That's not going to happen. Good luck. All right. But let's listen to this. All right.
He was instrumental for making Crawford Canelo.
Fuck you. This dude's trying to take credit for Crawford Canelo, bro. Like, we were instrumental in making the fight happen. No, you weren't. The fuck you were. Like, what the fuck? You're just somebody sitting back wanting to tax collect is all you're doing, mother. Like this idea, like, oh yeah, man, let me tell you, like, let me play the whole thing.
For making an event with multi-million dollars at stake.
He thinks that the WBC is the reason this event was big and made multi-millions of dollars, and he's not. Like you had nothing to do with that. If that was true, every WBC title fight would be this big extravagant event, but it's not, is it, Mauricio? Like, is every WBC event this big blockbuster event? No, it's not. So where the fuck you get off that the WBC is the reason why this is a big event? Where do you get off like saying this? Like we were instrumental, like using where you were instrumental in my ass cheeks, bro. How about that?
For both fighters, life-changing money.
Yeah, like you had nothing to do with life-changing money. It didn't come out of your pocket, bro. Money's just so giving with other people's money, right? You're such a giving guy with other people's money. This guy literally believes, like when you were a kid and tell you, hey, money doesn't grow on trees. Like this guy literally believes like money grows out of the WBC belt or some shit. Like he literally believes it's like a lamb that you could just rub and it makes these extravagant events. Your WBC belt doesn't have special powers that makes things into this great extravagant event. All right? Like, what are we doing? There's a reason the WBC is more lenient with fighters that bring in a lot of money over fighters that don't bring in a lot of money. There's a reason for that, because the fighters bring the money and you motherfuckers leech off of the fighters. And the more you could leech off of these fighters, the more lenient you are. All right? That's what it is. And you wanted to leech a shitload of money here and they didn't let you, did they?
For their families and their next generations. We did many activations. That ring.
He's butthurt because he created that ring. And for years I've been saying, man, these fighters, they got to stop like playing along with these props, right? The WBC, every time it was an undisputed fight or any type of unification fight, or even if a WBC belt wasn't even on the line, like the WBC would come in, right? They would come in and just put some bullshit belt in the line or some bullshit trophy on the line, right? Like the World Series of Boxing tournaments. If you guys remember that, right? Remember the World, whatever they called it, the World, for that trophy or whatever, right? Remember when Inoue won that tournament, and they already had a trophy. The organizers of that tournament already had a trophy set up, everything, right? The WBC had to create a bullshit diamond belt for the winner of that tournament. They just had to get involved somehow, right? That's come in and try to hog the spotlight of the actual organizers of the fucking tournaments. Inoue, like, had to kind of shoo away the belt. Like he was getting all the belt, and he had to. I don't want the diamond belt. I don't want that belt. Yeah, I'm glad he did that. More of that. They shouldn't even acknowledge that stupid ring. Like, what are you doing? You made a special ring, and like it's supposed to mean what the fuck, bro? And then every time a fighter wins, they have to put the fucking T-shirt on them. They have to be the ones that put the belting right across the shoulder. Just stop hogging the spotlight, bro. Like, it's not about you. Gets mad because they're going to allow him in the ring. Like, just shut the fuck up and take your sanction fee, bro. Honestly, like he literally believes he's making the event bigger because he's in the ring. Like Maestro Suleiman thinks like he's like a big part of this event. You're not. Got no sympathy for Maestro Suleiman. Nothing. None.
That we showed, made the news all over the world. We made statues.
You made statues. Who the fuck asked you to make statues? Did anybody ask you to do that? When I do something for somebody and they didn't ask me to do it, I don't like demand shit in return, bro. All right. I did it because I wanted to do it. We made statues. Who the fuck told you to make fucking statues? Okay, you made statues. Good for you. What? So that means that like you, because of that you get to demand more money than the other sanctioning bodies? Who the fuck asked you to make a ring? Who the fuck asked you to make statues? Who the fuck asked you to do any of that?
We went to the gymnasiums, we promoted, and
We went to gymnasiums and we promoted. So? And why the fuck are you even promoting? You're not the promoter. Dana White and TKO was a promoter. Zuffa Boxing, what are they? They're promoter. Turki Al-Sheikh is the one footing the bill. Let him promote. Turki Al-Sheikh and the Saudis are the one putting all the money. You don't see them complaining about them not getting money from Crawford. You don't see TKO and Dana White like, hey, man, Crawford hasn't given us a cut yet. What's going on? Like, you're not hearing anything from them. The only one that's complaining is WBC. The other three sanctioning bodies aren't saying anything. The ring belt, the ring isn't saying anything. The promoter isn't saying anything. There's just one common denominator. All right? So it is what it is, bro.
just to receive a slap.
So like he could talk all day about whatever he wants, bro, but like, nah, dude. According to Boxing posted this, and I agree, the WBC made Conor Benn number 1 and Ryan Garcia the mandatory at 147. Though they never have done anything to deserve it, WBC refused to mandate Virgil versus Fundora at 154. This is what the Ali Act protesters wanted to protect. Let me say this, and I don't want to make this about the Ali Act, but the first 2 points. All right. So Ryan Garcia literally just got his ass whooped by Rolly Romero, and what got busted for PDs in his fight before that, right? And so technically he hasn't had a win in a while. And he gets a fight for the WBC belt. They lifted the bullshit ban. Everybody could see that shit coming. Like that was telegraphed a mile away. We saw that coming, right? It wasn't a shock or anybody when it was announced. No shame in just putting that fight on, right? If the WBC is so instrumental and the WBC is the reason fights get big and mean a lot, then the power of the WBC belt should make any fight against Mario Barrios a big event. Regardless of who it is, why do you need a big name like Ryan Garcia to do it, Mauricio? And then Conor Benn, he hasn't even fought at welterweight since April of 2022. It's going to be almost 4 years, bro. Since he's fought at the weight class, and you made him like he's going to be number 1, and he gets to fight the winner of Ryan versus Barrios. Like, what are we doing? Number 1 based on what, bro? Maybe it's because Conor Benn, not the WBC, Conor Benn is a big name in England, brings in money, and you want some of that cut, right? You want to tax collect for because you're totally, you are just totally nonprofit, right? Because it's not based on merit. And by the way, this is not like, oh, he's a hater. He's hating on Ryan. He's hating on Conor Benn. Like, no, this is all facts, bro. I've not told any lies. Did Ryan not get his ass beat by Rolly Romero last fight? Yes, he did. All right. Has Conor Benn not fought at welterweight since April of 2022? Yeah. So I might be off on the month or something like that, but it was the first part of 2022. So it's almost going to be 4 years, and you made him number 1? Like, based on what, bro? What about the fighters that are in the rankings that are paying you sanctioning fees and eliminators and all that? What about them? No, fuck them, right? Fuck those guys. Right. So I make this point. Mauricio is acting like the WBC made Canelo Crawford a big event and now throwing a temper tantrum. It's hilarious. No sympathy for me, giving unwarranted title shots, making guys number one without fighting in the division, pay for play policy from nonprofit. I don't give a damn. You cry harder. Cry harder, right? Cry harder. It is what it is. Let's listen to the whole thing.
Crawford, Canelo, for making an event with multi-million dollars at stake for both fighters, life-changing money for their families and their next generations. We did many activations. That ring that we showed made the news all over the world. We made statues. We went to the gymnasium. We promoted, and just to receive a slap in the face, it's sad. But the WBC and boxing is above everyone. Boxing is above any organization, any promoter, any fighter. And as long as we honor and we respect, we will continue to go on. And the next champion will be as good or better than the champion who has left. So the championship is now vacant. We have ordered Billy, the interim champion, to fight Hamza Shiraz, who won a final elimination bout, and the winner to fight Lester Martinez because he was.
So there you go. All right. You know, doesn't strip fighters for not paying sanctioning fee? The ring belt has no sanctioning fee. The ring belt, all right, the new owner actually foot the bill, the Saudis, for Canelo versus Crawford. Mauricio said he made a special ring for Undisputed. They got attention all over the world. It made news all over the world. Like, brother, like they just showed pictures on it. Like it's social media. Like get over yourself, right? Like you know what nobody did? Nobody said, man, I'm not sure if I want to watch Canelo versus Crawford. Oh, but have you seen this ring though that they're gonna fight for? Oh man, I better tune into Netflix for this. Like nobody did that. It did nothing for the event. You were just trying to push your brand, bro. Let's just be honest. Just be honest, right? Mauricio did all those statues and bullshit ring as gift for a damn cut, bro. He said we help promote. This is like when you work for a corporation and tell you don't accept gifts over a certain amount because it's a conflict of interest. These sanctioning bodies are a bribe fest. They bribe for rankings. They bribe for title shots. They bribe for elevations. You aren't a promoter. I'm sure Crawford didn't ask you to make statues or a special ring. You didn't help make them money. They've been helping you make money. Do you guys have sympathy for Mauricio Suleiman? Oh, that's not to chat. Let me know if you have sympathy for this.
Comply with the rules, then he moves up to super middle and makes the fight of the century, beats Canelo, makes $50 million or around that. The WBC absolutely is not going to charge 3% of such an amount. We made a very clear 0.6%, which is $300,000, with $225,000 going to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, which is to help former fighters in need. And it is just regrettable. Not even a thank you or I'm sorry, taking a different route. No response. I wish him the best. But this is not. The WBC is huge. It's great. It's about greatness. And I'm relieved, to tell you the truth.
Man, you ain't really, motherfucker. You mad, right? You angry. That's what you are. Like, spare me, bro. Spare me. You have a shit we got to say, dude. Right? Shout out to the Sweet Science Examiner. Shout out to you, brother. Look, let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving. All right. Sloppy Suleiman thinks the WBC the reason the fight was big, and how about this the guilt trip, right? These former fighters in need, audit-free, pay-to-play bribing machines. Zero sympathy from me. Audit-free, pay-to-play, right? That's what they are, bro. Bribing machines. That's what they are. By the way, they declared, Matthias is not guilty. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, this is the way they move, bro. The board of governors have voted. Marisha Suleiman over here trying to guilt trip woe is me strategy towards Crawford for not paying the sanctioning fee. He says most of it's going to charity. The Jose Suleiman Fund, poor charity that we totally can't audit, that's named after his father. Why not let the champions choose which charity they give the money to instead? If it's all a good cause and totally not about pocketing the money, why would Marisha Suleiman be against this? All these presidents of sanctioning organizations totally spend a bunch of time trying to convince us that they're not pocketing the money and using it for good charitable causes anyway. For a nonprofit, they sure demand a lot with their unaudited pay-to-play bribing machine ways. Because that's what they are, bro. They've been given too much power. And I want to play this one more clip because, and then we'll have more to say. But
had with the legacy, I think Mauricio didn't understand when he inherited the top of the company from his father, Jose, just how much leverage he had with the legacy of that title. All the great from Mayweather and De La Hoya. This really started for Mauricio when he folded to Canelo. And Canelo, I think it was around the second or first Golovkin fight, and he kind of bended to Canelo's whims a little bit, and he didn't understand, look, even Canelo will come back if you hold your ground. And that was a chance for Mauricio. You hold your ground here, you could hold your ground with anybody because he's the face of boxing. If you hold your ground against Canelo, you're setting a precedent that nobody's above this belt. And if Mauricio would have played a few things differently, he might have got himself into a position where the WBC really is just head and shoulders above the other three. But short-sightedness, I want this 3% here. I want my belt on camera in the ring here. I want, and all those short-term gain, long-term, put him in the spot he's in now.
Now, I don't want to say, look, I'm not disagreeing with everything that Sean Sattel is saying. However, I stand by my tweet here. His father was just as bad. His father made Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. champion by stripping Martinez and naming Martinez champion emeritus. Canelo's first title shot was at 154 versus a 140-pounder at a catchweight. That was Matthew Haddon, who's not even ranked. Okay, sound familiar? Right? It was at a catchweight that Canelo didn't even meet. He didn't even make the catchweight. He didn't even make weight. He still got the fight for the belt. And afterwards, when Jose Suleiman was criticized about this, he said, look, this kid is a superstar. Like he just said, like with no shame, he's a superstar. Of course, you're going to make an exception for him. He said it right to it was Juan Manuel Marquez at the time, when Marquez was actually correct in the correct position at the time. So obviously, he responded. I agree, but he had built up a brand of the sport that made WBC the most recognizable and sought after world title in a sport that Mauricio Suleiman short-sighted decision it kind of ruined that. But here's my response to that. All right. And I believe I'm right about this. And he didn't really disagree. So I just don't think Jose would have stood up to Canelo. He would have been more weaselly and not put Canelo in that position with the Triple G mandatory, or would have put the percentage for Triple G a lot lower as a mandatory. So I guess since he was more clever, His father had the benefit of being the second sanctioning organization that was built up since the 70s, by the way, and build up its brand from there. It was also built up when boxing as a sport was way more popular in the States, especially at heavyweight. That kind of helps when Muhammad Ali has the belt. It kind of helps when like Larry Holmes has the belt. When Tyson has the belt, right? When the fighters in the 90s had the belt, like when the sport was popping. Of course, I mean, more recognizable than like the IBF and the WBO. That's why WBC had a great brand name. It wasn't because Jose was this great moral guy that had good fair judgment. Right? Zatel did respond. I agree, but he had a built-in brand in the sport that made WBC the most recognized, most sought after in the world. Title in the sport, and Mauricio short-sighted decision ruined that. No, that's not what he said. What are we talking about? What's going on? Oh, yeah. What? What's going on? Oh, there it is. I never said Jose was. My point is, regardless of how his father maneuvered, he inherited the most prestigious title in the sport, and instead of making moves to increase their credibility, he often done the opposite. And he doesn't think Jose would have stood up to Canelo. I don't think there would have ever been any issues with Canelo and Jose, quite frankly. I think Jose would have been more biased towards Canelo. So this idea that Mauricio was like, Jose Suleiman became the godfather of Chavez Jr. Oh, they had such a great reputation. This is revisionist history, bro. No, they didn't. Like we be crooks. Like that shit's been said before. Jose croaked, bro. Like it is what it is. All right? So you can spare me. As the examiner just said, yeah, context matters, bro. The context absolutely matters, quite frankly. Right? So here's my thing, guys. And shout out to Ed Woodson, the Swiss Sign Examiner. Make sure you guys hit the like button. By the way, tell me, like, do you agree? Do you disagree? You know, like, how do you guys feel about this? Because we got to really have a real serious conversation, right? And by the way, those watching on the vertical version, you can come to the regular version as well. You go to the channel, but just letting you guys know. I'm just trying the 2-version style. It's whatever, but let me know if you like it, don't like it. Give me some feedback. It is what it is. But yeah, I talked about the WBC franchise, and a lot of this is inexcusable, bro. Like these dudes are so full of shit. Mauricio Suleiman is the worst one of all, bro. If what Crawford is saying is right, like, look, I was offering to pay the same thing that the WBO, the IBF, and WBA accepted, and that wasn't good enough for the WBC, then fuck the WBC. Oh, but we made statues. And nobody told you to make a fucking statue, bro. Oh, but we made that ring, and the ring made all the news around the world. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, what are we doing? And you see how he caught himself in that clip? Like when he said, but the WBC is bigger than all of that. Then he caught himself and he's like, boxing is bigger than it. Like he thinks he is boxing. He thinks he inherited the position of the ultimate arbiter of all of boxing. Who elected him? Oh, the board of governors. Fuck the board of governors, right? The board of governors can suck my cock, bro. I don't give a shit, right? Oh, the board of governors. I mean, shut the fuck. Like, what are we talking about? Who made this dude the ultimate arbiter of like, oh, I'm here to bless the sport. I'm here to make the sport big. Like this dude is the ultimate, like, he's like a Suge Knight almost, you know? He's all in the camera, all in the videos, and I want my belt all up in everything, bro. He's like Suge Knight on steroids. Right? That's what he is. The dude he's got nothing to do with it, and go like he's got nothing to do like with all the money that was put in. Nothing to do with the licensing fee from Netflix. Nothing to do with the promotion, right? But he thinks that he showed up in the gym and plastered his WBC brand all over the place, that he was part of the promotion. Like does he really believe that making that bullshit ring like really hyped up the event? Like really, it made more people tune in because, oh my God, you don't understand. Hey Bob, I know you're not into boxing, but you need to understand it. They're gonna fight for a ring, bro. Right? So, like, you gotta watch this shit. Like, what are we doing? Why are you even doing that? Why are you spending money on that anyway? Right? Don't you have some like fighters in need you need to help? Isn't that the bullshit reason you get people as to why you get a sanctioning fee? For years, these fighters didn't even know what they were paying a sanctioning fee for. I remember when Errol Spence asked, "Well, why are we paying the sanctioning fee, man?" Like, in his Texan accent, I just butchered that. And I'm from Texas, but it is what it is, you know. Why are we paying a sanctioning fee? I don't understand why we pay. Like, oh, and you know what happened? Once fighters started like asking questions, people in power don't like it when people ask questions, right? Remy in the building, how's it going, brother? How's it going, brother? Much appreciated, right? Trinkets have control over fighters, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't, bro. Like, you see, these sanctioning bodies are by far. Crawford's the first fighter that I remember of my memory that has actually said out of his mouth, I think they're worse than the promoters. They are. They are worse than the promoter. All right? At least the promoter pays you. Like, you can hate the cut. You can have a dispute on the amount, right? But they pay you, like, and their job is to hype up and promote the event. Whether they're good at it or not is relevant, right? That's a separate point. I have my criticisms about that, but what do the sanctioning bodies really do? They're supposed to, like, their whole like non-profit organization is supposed to keep a fair ranking system. They don't even do that. A dude from England who hasn't fought in division for like 4 years is number one all of a sudden. Like, a dude got his ass whooped by Ronnie Romero and he's going to get a title shot. Like, what have we done? Well, what type of a bullshit ranking system is this? This is what they're paying into? So ever since the fighters started asking questions, hey, why am I paying for this? What am I paying for? Exactly. Like, do you notice all of a sudden they came out and started giving all these bullshit reasons? Right? Oh, we have a fund. Yeah, the Jose Sullivan Fund. It's a charity, and we give it to fighters in need. So, like, you got so. I'm totally not trying to guilt trip you, but there's fighters in need that need this money, and bro, they're gonna die if you don't pay this money, bro. Right? Yet we have fighters all over the world in these gyms, living in gyms, slurring their words, like in front of 7-Elevens with their tall boys. Like we got fighters that haven't heard from the sanctioning bodies in years, right? But I'm supposed to believe that WBC's out here like really looking out. Like, no, you select who you help. You do it for PR purposes, so you can have an answer to when people ask you, what do we pay this for, right? Like all of a sudden, like they're all coming out and they're giving these reasons. Oh yeah, we use the money to do seminars for the betterment of fighters and teach them how to control their finances. Like, what? Like, so they're gonna give you all that money so you can do a PowerPoint on how to do finances? Like, can't you just do a YouTube video and do a PowerPoint on YouTube and then just share it to all the fighters? Like, you got to do it. Like, what are we doing, bro? Like, what exactly are they doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like what? Conor Bennett's answering for Barrios now. I know. Based on what? I don't fucking know. Do you guys know? I don't know. Conor Bennett hasn't fought at welterweight since April. I believe it's April. Can somebody fact check that for me? I know it's 2022. Fact check the month for me. But it's almost going to be 4 years, bro. This is crazy. Over 3.5 years, and he's number one. Like, base. Like, what are we doing? And speaking of WBC, right? Maybe it would have, right? But they're obviously not doing a good job at it, right? Adrian Broner, give Mighty Show a call, bro, right? He claims that way you're not asking for GoFundMe money, right? Or cash apps on your stories, or you're not out there, telling a judge to give you more time to ask your fans for money. Go to Mighty Show. Apparently, Mighty Show has a fund for you. Like, yes, fund for fighters in need. So give Mighty Show a call, right? Give him a call. I'm being serious. Like, Mighty Show says he has a fund for fighters in need, right? So, help a brother out. Like, I'm just saying, right? Was he ever in a WBC title fight? Did he ever pay sanctioning fees? Broner? Are his sanctioning bodies looking out for him now that he's in need? Right? And I'm going to address some of the stuff that I heard, by the way. We're going to get there. Right? So, fuck the Board of Governors. Board of Governors. What are we doing, bro? Like, dude's asking like the WBC is like FIFA or something. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Right? Like what they're trying to make it sound legit. Like get the fuck out of here. Mighty Show just makes all these decisions, bro. But that's why it's so inconsistent, right? They don't even follow their own bylaws at the time, and it's all discretion of WBC anyway, so they don't give a fuck, bro. Right? And all the people defending this dude, man, whatever, bro. Like all the bullshit they do, right? By the way, at least Crawford didn't pay this. They've stripped people for even after they pay the sanctioning fee. They just felt they were disposable, right? While they didn't strip other guys for it, right? And we've had so many cases of just mandatories just floating around for years, and WBC doesn't do anything about it. They never ordered the Benavidez Canelo fight. They just kept stalling. They should have just ordered the fight, bro. Maybe, I know there's people that think that Benavidez was bluffing. Maybe, well, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't take it. We should have just ordered it. Just order the fucking fight, bro. Like, what are we doing? But I want to talk about 154 pounds in WBC. Let's just show you guys the bullshit, bro. Right? I'm going to pull up BoxRec really quick. Let me pull up BoxRec. And let's go to, I don't got to pull up. I'll just do it by memory. I was in the show, but whatever. Here's the thing, right? So my thing is this, right? Virgil Ortiz right now, he is the interim WBC champion, right? That's what he is. He is the interim WBC champion. Did you guys know? I don't know if you guys know this, but the interim WBC title at super welterweight, that's 154 pounds. That's what WBC calls it. It actually has more lineage at the moment, right, than the actual full WBC belt right now. It has more lineage than the actual full WBC belt, right? Now, I do want to look something up. So give me a second. So, Fundora, right? Not that Fundora. Man, it's giving me a sister, bro. I'm like, what's going on? Like it was giving me a sister. Like, what's you put Fundora now, it gives you a sister. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to find when the WBC interim was won, right? Okay. Okay. Let me see if it was before Lubin, right? So we got to go to Lubin, Spoxrick now. And then we'll kind of go from there. Let me just share it so you guys know what I'm doing. Let me just share this shit. All right. Oh, these things has the worst. It doesn't say why I have the worst takes, right? Oh, because he likes Zoo. You fucking loser. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Zoo got his ass whooped, and so what? Like I don't lose sleep at night, you dumb loser. You know what I mean? Oh, he has the worst takes. I'm not gonna say why. I'm just gonna say it because I'm a loser troll. Look at me on my troll account. Look at me. I have a troll account. I probably have several accounts that I've created to troll. Oh my God. Fucking loser. So anyway, when did he become the WBC? Okay, so all right. Fair enough. Okay. So I got I just wanted to get my facts straight for a second. Okay. So check this out, guys. All right, check this out. So the WBC, the vacant WBC interim belt was fought between Sebastian Fundora and Erickson Lubin. As you guys know, Fundora beat Lubin, right? So now Fundora became, so he was the first interim WBC champion in this current line, this existing kind of lineage, right? I'm sure they paid sanctioning fees. And then, as you know, Fundora fought Mendoza, right? Mendoza knocked Fundora out. It was a war. They were going back and forth, and Fundora was winning, but he got clipped and he got knocked out. Now, I don't know why, but Mendoza fought Tim Tszyu and lost to Tim Tszyu in a pretty clear decision, right? And but the interim belt was not on the line for whatever reason, right? Like so that well, that's weird, right? But so Mendoza lost that fight. Okay. Now Mendoza ended up fighting Boachuk for that same interim championship. Boachuk, as you know, beat up Mendoza, right? And became the interim champion. And then Virgil Ortiz beat Boachuk for that same interim championship. As you know, great fight. Ortiz got up from the campus several times. Outboxed, Boachuk got the decision. And since then, right, Virgil Ortiz has been a reigning defending WBC interim champion, is what he's been, right? So he beat and defended his WBC interim championship against Madrimov and clearly beat Madrimov. And then he defended it again against Erickson Lubin, right? So there's a lineage, whereas the actual full WBC belt is being held by the guy that got knocked out by Mendoza in his lineage, right? Because he won the vacant belt by beating Tim Tszyu in that bloodbath of a match, right? And became the interim champion. And what has Sebastian Fundora really done since then? What has he done? That's where the lineage of that belt started, guys. Like that's where it started. Like the lineage of the belt started with that. So yes, he he beat, he beat Tim Tszyu, right? We get it. But what has Sebastian Fundora done? Like that's all he's done. He won the belt. He beat Booker. Okay, wow. And then he beat Tim Tszyu in the rematch. That's all he's done. So why am I bringing all that up? The reason I'm bringing all that up is Mauricio Sulaiman is double dipping. He's still collecting sanctioning fees from Virgil Ortiz, while Sebastian Fundora is getting injured, not defending, not fighting, right? And he's look how many times Virgil has defended the belt, and they won't order the fight. Like, just order it, bro. Now, but Virgil needs to just order the fucking fight. What are we doing? That's crazy. Oh, like I strongly doubt they're not paying sanctioning fees for the interim belt. I strongly doubt it. I'll tell you that right now. I strongly doubt that. It may be a lower fee, something, but I strongly doubt it. Right? But either way, they're not, this is pay to play. That's the type of system we have. So it's just what it is. All these, like this whole thing, man, it's all rigged, bro. It's all bullshit. All of it. Mauricio Sulaiman, and here I want to address the one last thing here. Hey man, Crawford agreed, and he should pay, should honor. Hey, look, like Crawford is saying, if he doesn't pay, he gets stripped. He got stripped, right? But my thing is this: like, why can't the WBC accept the same amount that the other sanctioning bodies accepted? What makes Mauricio Sulaiman and WBC above that? And if most of it is going to a charity, right? And it's not because you're going to pocket it, why are you like acting this way? Like, why? It's all bullshit, what it is. So what I'll say is this, man. At the end of the day, the people that have been saying for years we beat crooks, I mean, they're not. They've always been correct. And the sanctioning bodies have never been the bastion and the example of what a great champion should be, and all that's always been bullshit, bro. Like they've never been the good example for the sport. Ever. They're so full of it, man. It's bullshit. So, and it's not just the WBC. Other sanctioning organizations have, like, I have my own issues with them. Like the WBA has way too many belts, more than all of them combined, right? Or close to it. Like I have issues with the rankings of the IBF sometimes. Like they all have like their own like little things, but I'm not even here to tell you who's better and which is the best of all the sanctioning bodies. I think they're all full of shit. But I will say that WBC is the worst. That I will say, right? And like I don't know, like what, whether Crawford was making 20 million or 50 million or 100 million, like who are you to demand 300,000, bro? Like this is. You could tell me all day, oh, it was just 0.6%, and like who the fuck are you, bro? Like what are we doing? Like that is an outrageous amount of money, bro. For doing what? Oh, we created statues. Like, get the fuck out of here, right? Get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't even know why fighters entertain this shit, bro. Like, I'm telling you right now, it's. You ever meet people that do things for you, and there's an ulterior motive, like you know what I mean? So you kind of don't want them to do shit for you, right? Now that's rare with us men. Like obviously we rarely get that. You know what I mean? Women will kind of relate to that maybe more, but But we still kind of experience it at times. Like, okay, what is this person up to? What's up with this? What do you want for this, bro? You know what I mean? It's what he wants. Like, nobody asked him to do those things. Nobody asked him to go to the gym. I thought you wanted the gyms for the betterment of the kids and for the future boxers and for the good of the sport. I didn't know you were doing it because you were expecting a $300,000 bill, bro. I know that's why you were doing it. I mean, I did, but you know, being sarcastic. So people could tell me all day by letter of the law, Crawford should honor what he said he would pay, and like the WBC doesn't honor their end of the bargain with many fighters. So I have no sympathy for the WBC. None. I have no sympathy today. I have no sympathy tomorrow. And hell yes, I side with Terrence Crawford on this. 100%. I've been begging fighters to do it, the champions, the top fighters in the sport. They're the ones that could check these motherfuckers. I've been asking for this. So once a fighter did it, I'm not going to be like, oh, no, well, it's Crawford, so I don't like, no, fuck that shit. I've been waiting for these fighters to say, you know what, fuck you. No, right? No, you know what, bro? I'm the champion. I don't give a fuck if you take my trinket. I'm the man of the division, right? Like I've been waiting for fighters to say, no, fuck your sanctioning fee. I don't give a shit about it. I remember when Mayweather didn't pay the WBA sanctioning fee when he fought Mosley, right? And they still stripped Mosley, even though Mayweather didn't pay for it. It's crazy. But he said, I'm going to pay a fucking sanctioning fee. I was like, good. For what? Like, fuck these dudes, bro. Until they do right, right? Until they do right and actually do right by the rank. Like, if they were doing right by the rankings, if they were really looking out for the little guy, right? If they were looking out for the fighters that don't have a big name, big promoter, but hey, you know, they're working up the rankings, so we're going to enforce these mandatories. If you don't like it, then we'll strip you. If they were actually doing that, they were consistent about that, if they were enforcing the mandatories at, you know, like the way they're supposed to be doing, if these rankings made sense, and they weren't random, they weren't putting just random dudes that because they're big draws in England, number one, even though they haven't fought in the division for 3 years, they were giving title shots to guys that allowing title fights for a dude that just coming off a loss, right? They allowed like Fundora to fight for the WBC belt after he got knocked the fuck out by Mendoza, bro. Like what type of, like, this is the way they're functioning. And we're supposed to just accept that they could totally act like promoters. Fuck these dudes, bro. Fuck them. I don't give a shit about these dudes like that. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh, he agreed that he would pay. Like, just how about you get your board of governors to do a little bullshit vote and just accept what the other sanctioning bodies accepted? How about you just do that? Instead of bitching and whining and throwing a pity party and acting like you're the reason that the event was big and massive, and you're the reason that, like, you're not the reason for jack shit. You ain't shit, bro. Right? We be crooks. Oh man, I remember when they were respecting Jose Sulaiman. Jose Sulaiman wasn't doing any better than Mauricio, bro. More weaselly. That's about it. How the fuck like a member of the sanctioning body becomes a godfather of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and then they orchestrate him to become probably the worst world champion of all time, bro. Right? And he stripped a really good champion in Sergio Martinez in the process. Like, get the fuck out of here, right? A lot of you guys have some revisionist history on some shit. They're doing the same shit with Jose Sulaiman they do with George W. Bush. Like they're just whitewashing the whole thing. Like, oh man, I remember when we had respect civility in the White House, like when Bush was in office. Oh yeah, man, when we started 2 fucking illegal wars. I don't want to get into politics, but like that's what it sounds like to me. Like, oh, Jose Sulaiman. He wouldn't have done any of this. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, what are we talking about? Right? This is the blueprint of Jose Sulaiman. Right? Like, if you know, we're grasping at straws on who was worse, really. So that's my rant. Tell me what you guys think. If you always go back to the beginning of the video and listen to all of it, but I really want to know what you guys think here. And I think we need like audits on the sanctioning body. Who audits them, right? What's the checking system for them? Well, it has to be the guys in the positions of like Crawford, right? They need to call this out because, fighters that are just chasing their dream and they're kind of at the mercy of the sanctioning bodies, right? They're not going to speak out because, it could be detrimental to them, right? But fighters that, they're in this position, they should speak out. They should stand up to the sanctioning bodies because they're bullies, right? That's what they are. And I don't like, I have no sympathy at all. So spare me. Give me your crocodile tears that, he should have paid. What, like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. And sometimes it's about the principles. So it's like people are like, Crawford, he can't afford. What are you talking about? Anybody could afford 0.6% of their paycheck. I don't care if you make minimum wage, bro. It's not what it's about. Woe is me. Yeah, whatever. With that said, guys, I got to get rolling. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. This is D-Style, and I'm out of here. Peace.